So today's video is looking at evaluating student intros. Students did wrote some intros for me, and I just want to look at those. What was good and what could be better. So the topic for these intros was, should Gus do online classes, full online classes? So here's one. So my suggestion for this one is talk about the topic, not just give an answer. So this one kind of really quickly just says, classes are more comfortable. It's like saying, instead of saying Gus should or shouldn't, is like online classes are really good. But an intro, the purpose of an intro is to show the reader why this topic is important. So why are online classes important? What is happening in the world today? These are the things that should be happening. So here's a little slightly better example. Studying has become a part of our life. We study to achieve our dreams. There are two ways to study. So it's kind of giving like kind of a broader idea, and then it's going into specifically defining the topic. What is studying face to face versus online? So students think, and then it goes into the opinions of students being online, and then it goes into, I think Gus should offer online classes. Very good. Maybe other thing that I would suggest would be making it more formal. Instead of saying I think, just say Gus should start out a tool. All right, next one. Again, don't just not just give an answer, but talk about the topic. So this one was pretty good in the beginning due to the world's current situation. Online classes are the best way to finish your courses. So instead of saying best way, this is kind of giving like your answer to the topic. Keep your answer a little hidden, right? You want to just say like this is the best way, but just say, hey, this is what's happening, as opposed to like this is the best way. So maybe you can reword this by saying online classes are becoming one of the most used ways for students to finish their courses. Same thing, but I'm not showing what my answer is. I'm being more hidden with it. Here, instead of saying our devices, and keep it more formal, such as laptop, tablets, and smartphones is one way that you could change that one. Moving on. Also, try to keep it formal. So this student did a great job of having a nice hook and intro generally, but saying we, I. So keep it more formal by switching those out and saying when Kuwait stopped having schools online classes, but online classes, Gus should not go full online. Same thing, but it's a little bit more formal. Next one, make it more specific. So with this one, here's another student example. These years, some modern universities established online classes in their studies, and then the student goes into, in this generation, the internet became a huge part of our life. Um, I just felt like these two could be switched more like this. It seems like it flows a little bit better. Talking about online, internet has become a huge part of our life, and then some modern universities established, because it seems like the bigger, broader topic, and and this is kind of fits under that. This is an example of how the internet has become part of our lives. And then the student, I like to not use the words for example in intros. You can just simply just change it to online classes of study, and a lot of people are using internet for long hours. Um, and then finally, um, bringing in people's opinions as opposed to how the student originally had it, getting benefits from the internet would be an amazing step. It just sounds so informal. Some people think the internet would be an amazing step towards successful education, and keeping it a little bit more hidden what the student is actually writing about. And then the student didn't finish their essay, so I just took another student's essay and kind of put them together. I guess it's making steps for using education and internet by offering online classes, but there was a split of opinion on if they are effective. This essay will argue that, and then the student could write, their opinion here. So I was just kind of adding something to this one because it wasn't complete. Let's look at another student essay. So my advice for this one is stay on topic. So this one was pretty good in the beginning. Using technology is a new skill. Technology can help students be successful. Most students choose to sign up for online classes because it is much easier and more comfortable. Online classes help the student to keep educating. And the reason why I say stay on topic, because then it starts going to Gus is one of the greatest universities in Kuwait, and the students feel comfortable and they're helping us and doing all this stuff. I think the student's trying to tell Mr. Kamal that Mr. Kamal needs to be more nice and give less assignments and stuff. But at the same time, it doesn't really fit into this intro because you're talking about, yes, Gust is part of this topic, but we're not specifically talking about comparing like how good Gust is or how good the teachers are or what the teachers are doing. It's more so like, should they give these online classes? And then it goes back on topic there. Let's look at another one. Similar to the last one, started off well. Online classes give students opportunities for them to choose how, where, and when to take their classes. Gus has the best teaching skills. Like, okay, where did that come from? That was kind of just like thrown in there. Best universities in Kuwait. I'm not disagreeing at the same time. It's just I just think that it kind of doesn't connect with this topic. I would have said something more like, Gus is a university trying to, offer online classes or anything like that. Generally, talking about Gus in online classes is fine, but talking about Gus being teaching skills and best university, that doesn't really match with this topic. Here, I was just saying, why don't Gus use it? This is kind of informal, and I just would prefer the student not use those kind of words. And then finally, there's a couple or a few good examples. It seems everything is moving along online these days. Even education can be through the internet. Online classes or courses conducted over the internet. So she's kind of given the situation, and then talking about defining the topic. There are many universities offering online classes, contemporary technology. Some people, and this is giving opinions, think that traditional classes could be easier and clearer. Only thing that I was suggesting here was give the opinion of the other side, because so she kind of says some people think that traditional classes could be easier, clearer. What about the other side? Other people think that they are very clear, or they're good the way they are, or something. That's what I put this yellow thing here for. There are many reasons why Gus should offer online classes. So that's a solid one. Here's another good example. Education and technology are two best friends in this century. There are so many universities depending on online classes today, and it's happening especially in this crisis. Gus University is using the online classes with those who like it to be in it. It's optional. This is student examples taken straight from students. Online classes have their own benefits and disadvantages for some students. So good. The situation, I like how the student brought Gus in there, and now it's kind of talking about online classes. They have advantages, disadvantages. I might have said that it would be good to just give one or two of these like advantages or disadvantages instead of just saying they have them, or give people's opinion about them. But then it goes into thesis, and it's pretty solid. And last one, good example, online lectures are a new thing for most of the students. Not having to physically attend the lecture can be a positive and negative thing. I think I had a similar feedback for this one. Be a little more clear on how positive and negative. So far, many students have similar view when it comes to online lecture. The students claim that online lectures are easy for most courses, but at the same time, there is some fear when it comes to grades. Again, I like how they're giving like opinions here. I highlighted this because you should know by now. It's a little informal. Should not be mandatory, and there must be alternative. The reason is that students cannot interact face to face with the lecture, and that makes it harder to understand, concentrate, and get easily distracted. So solid. I like how they listed the three reasons, and they were clear on their thesis. Very good generally overall. So come to the next class ready to write some great intros. See you then.